Hey everyone, it's Ms. Keener. We're going to go over this benchmark one review. Now, the benchmark exams they're difficult, um, and this won't go over all of it, so we're still going to try our best on the benchmark, but some of these will be just a little bit review to try and help. Also, these questions, you've learned the math, but maybe the question's kind of asked in a new or different way. So, again, this is for Math 3 Honors and the benchmark one review. Number one, write three different equations of polynomial function that have the same end behavior as the graphs below. So underline end behavior because that's our key phrase. And the end behavior here means what's happening at the end of the graph. So on the left here, we're pointing down, and on the right, we're pointing up. And then on this example, they're both pointing down. Okay, so end behavior means as x is approaching negative infinity or going to the left, what is happening to the function? And as x approaches positive infinity or moving to the right, what is happening to the function? What that means is where the arrow is pointing. Okay, so as we go to the left here, where's this arrow pointing? Down. So that's negative infinity, and this arrow is pointing up. What we need to do is think of three different equations. So this pattern belongs to a certain type of function, and that type of function is anything that is positive in the front and has an odd power. So odd mean they're going in different directions, and positive means it's going down to up or increasing as you go through all these x's. So if we have to write three different equations, one example would be, and it says equations, but it could be a function. It could just say f of x. It could be, y equals 2x cubed, if you want. We could say f of x equals, pick a number, any number, 11x, but we need an odd number here for the power. So what's another odd number besides 3? An odd number would be 5. Now, what about over here? Could it be, we could have other stuff, right? So we could have minus 2x squared plus 1. We could have anything over here, anything that's less than 5, though. You can't add a bigger power, but it has to be less than, what's your favorite number? Okay, 2, I got a lot of 2s, sorry. Okay, what's the third one? So let's make my birthday. So my birthday, so k of x is equal to, my birthday is March, so we're going to say 3. It's March 22nd. Uh-oh, but 22nd isn't an odd power, so I need an odd power. We'll do 3 again. So there's my March plus 22 x squared. So there's my 22, and I was born in 1983. All right, so anything that's positive with an odd power would have the same end behavior here. What about a line? Y equals x. Yeah, that would also, even though it's 1, it would also same end behavior. I think I'm taking way too much time for number 1, so we need to kind of move a little faster. What functions have both arrows pointing down? That would be something with a negative and an even power. A positive even would be they're both going up. So even means same direction, odd means different, positive means up, negative means down. So y equals, make sure it's negative in front, negative 11, so that can be odd, x squared, f of x could be negative pi, ooh, I'm getting creative, but I need an even number, so it would be to the 4th power, and you can make up new things on the end, as long as it's less than 4. And then g, negative in front, so negative e times x to the odd power. E is a number. I know, it's crazy. Okay, that's it. Next one. What are the zeros? Oh, we've been doing so much of this. So zeros means f of x equals 0. So we say if 0 equals x plus 3, then x equals what? Negative 3. Okay, if 0 equals x squared minus 9, now this one was linear. We just subtracted 3, but this one's quadratic, so we need to factor to solve. I guess you could have added 9 and taken the square root, but then you would have to remember to put the plus or minus. When you factor, you kind of know that there's 2 answers there. So positive 3 and negative 3. My lights went out. Sorry about that. Okay, right here we're going to find the zeros. I'm going to try and factor that. I want to factor out an 8 maybe, but 8 is a cubic. So this might be the sum of two cubes. Look what I'm going to do. I'm going to get out a calculator. Here we go. Can you see that? Okay, so first let's see, does 216, can an 8 go into that divided by 8? Let's see here. Oh, it does. Okay, that's good. That makes our, oh, what did I do? Look, I marked on that. Okay. Y'all with me still? Still here? Yes, still here? Yeah. Okay. So we can factor out that 8, which makes our sum and difference of two cubes. Sum of two cubes, just a little bit easier. We could have done it with the 8, but it wouldn't be factored completely. Okay, remember how to do this? So we're going to have x plus, now what's the cube root of 27? The cube root is 3. So that's our first factor, and this is a formula. You're like, where is she getting this from? It's a formula. What do we do with the x? Now x times what is x cubed? X times x squared, right? And then 3 times what is 27? So 3 times 9 is 27. And now in the middle, we have to have one minus sign, and then we take the 3 and the x and we subtract them in the middle. How do you know that? It's a formula. Okay, so you have to have that memorized. Sum of two cubes. Oops, I didn't answer the question. The question says, what are the zeros? So the zeros are when we solve for x. So x plus 3 equals 0, so x equals -3, like that. And then this cannot be factored. If this could be factored, then the formula would be to factor it. So I'm going to show my work down here. Do you guys remember the quadratic formula? X is equal to -b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times a is 1 and c is 9. I like to just fill it in. I don't like to write the formula. All over 2a, how do I do? -b plus or minus the square root of b squared, 3 squared is 9, minus 4 times a times c. Sweet. 9 minus 4 times 9. That would be 9 minus 36. Is that going to be positive or negative? Oh, I am off the page. I'm sorry about that, you guys. I'm sorry. There you go. Do you see how you get a negative under the square root? So that means no real solution. All that work and only this was the answer? Yeah, that's it. All right, let's go to number 3. The height of a ball kicked in the air can be represented by this. True statement. Where h is the height of the ball in feet and t is the time in seconds after the ball was initially thrown. After how many seconds? If that's what it's asking, how many seconds, what are we solving for? How many seconds? We need to find t. After how many seconds will the ball have a height of 0? What does that mean? What does that mean? A height of 0. That means the ball was thrown and it landed on the ground. So question number 1, height of 0. So this is h. We're going to make all of this 0. So 0 equals this, and this is a quadratic. How do you solve a quadratic? You set it equal to 0, factor and solve. Is there a greatest common factor? 16 and 40. What's the biggest number that goes into both of those? I wanted to say 4, but is there a bigger number? Does 8 go into both of them? I think it is 8. Let's see. Fantastic. Okay, set each factor equal to 0. So we're going to say -8t equals 0. So t equals 0. Does that make sense? Well, I guess you threw it from the ground. I guess it makes sense if you threw it from the ground. And then t minus 5 equals 0. So after 5 seconds, the ball hits the ground again. After how many seconds will the ball have a height of 0? Hey, let's plug in 5 just to make sure. 5 squared is 25. What's 16 times 25? I don't know. That was a joke. Good one, huh? Let's see. 16 times 25 equals 400. I knew that. And then what's 40 times 20? not 40 times 25. 40 times, it's the best video ever, clear. 40 times 5 equals 200. Well, look at that. Made a mistake. Check it again. T squared, 5 squared is 25. 25 times 16, 400. Negative 400 plus 2. I made a mistake. Let's figure this out. Oh, I know what we did. We meaning you. Just kidding. You ready? Here we go. Do you see how I factored out the 8? But what's 16 divided by 8? Oh, silly Keener. I need a 2 here. And if you were like, oh yeah, wait, I knew that. Well, good for you. Good job. 2t minus 5 equals 0. So 2t equals 5. So t equals 5 halves. Oh, okay. All right. I'm not going to check that because I need to keep going. Did you get that? Oh, part B. Do you see the second question there? How high will the ball be after 2 seconds? Height after 2 seconds equals, we're just going to plug in 2 to find h. Do you square or multiply first? Square first. Plus 80. Negative 16 times 4. I don't know. Today's just a day where I need a calculator. It's a Friday afternoon. Is it? I think it's 64, but I'm not sure. It is. Congratulations, calculator. You got it right. Negative 64 plus 80. 16. So after 2 seconds, the ball is 16 feet in the air. Now you know. Here we go. Ready? State the end behavior. Now, I'm not sure. This is negative even. So are we just supposed to go like this? This is positive odd. Or are we supposed to write it out like as x goes to the left, as x goes to positive infinity? Oh, look at this one's not in the right order. Tricky. Look at, they're trying to trick us. Positive, even, both going up. You got to find the highest power. Trying to trick us, silly. Negative, odd would start up and then go down. All right. Find the area of the shaded region. The only way to do this, y'all, is to find the area of the big shape, and you have to subtract the area of the smaller shape. So how do you find the area of a rectangle? Length times width. So we're going to have 15 times 10 minus 9 times 2. 15 times 10, 150. Minus 9 times 2. So 150 minus 18 is 132. No units were given. Units squared. That's like a preview to the next one, right? Dun, 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 dun. X's. Find the area of the shaded region. So we're going to do the same idea. We're going to take this and multiply it by this. And then we're going to subtract the non-shaded region. But we have to multiply before we add or subtract because order of operations. Okay, so you're going to FOIL that. Maybe I should just do hints and help on the last few. My last few minutes here, we're going to cross multiply here. So we would have 2x equals 3 times x plus 3. Distribute, combine like terms. Except we're going to get a quadratic here. How do you solve a quadratic? 0 product property, set it equal to 0, factor, and solve. What are the asymptotes of the following rational functions? What are the zeros? And write the equation. Oh, that's cool. That's what our test is on. So I see here a horizontal asymptote at y equals 0, a vertical asymptote at x equals -2. And I'm kind of running out of time, but I hope that helped. Just a little quick review